Man, gotta say, the paint dry showcase has been really lackluster this year. My homies and I are still waiting for purple paint to drop, but that's been in development hell for years. Oh shoot, they just announced the red paint battle pass! Okay, yeah, this sucks. Wanna talk about Workshop? The summer of gaming is here, and I figured it was a perfect time to talk about Workshop's own showcase of content. It's also a good time to do it because we're getting a new one after 2 years. I mean, hey, if this can return, Marvel vs. Capcom can surely do the same, right? Oh, it looks like my sadness just arrived. Let's move on. Hey guys, this is Future SK. I show up whenever past SK messes up. Today's mess up, not knowing the future, cause Marvel vs. Capcom is back, baby! Workshop Blueprint, originally called the unofficial Rivals Workshop Direct, great save by the way, was a presentation where Workshop devs old and new could submit their trailers for their content so all of them could be showed on one big premiere. The original 4 events were done by Zetta, who is known for their Workshop content, Rivals Workshop tournament hosting, and most recently, wanting multiverses to be better. I mean, you haven't lived life until you have. And I wanted to go through every single event and look at all the characters, stages, and other content that was shown off in these events. So join me as we go through the coolness that was the unofficial Rivals Workshop Blueprint Part 1 and 2. That'll make sense later. Alright, let's go. During the Cough year, we got the unofficial Rivals Workshop Direct, and the first reveal we get is NA. And seeing this trailer, man, it truly reminded me, dang, this was 4 years ago. Like, Rimu's trailer has a Sandbird in it.
That's just insulting!
But this is also pretty cool. It's like watching rookie footage of a goat. And take it from me, Remu is one of the goats of Workshop. I remember O2ing with her like it was just yesterday. Now I'm O2ing with another red girl. We also get reveals from more mainstays like Coda and Callie, 2 characters I've definitely yapped about before. In my opinion, Saffron, Amber, and Snake were my favorite reveals, for all different reasons. Saffron's teaser, I'm gonna be honest, was kinda mid, but man was I so excited for this character. Not only was this being made by Equinox Doodles, creator of Chris, another one of my favorite Workshop characters, but the sprite and design looked fantastic. Now, Saffron is actually from a video game, One Step from Eden, so the design compliment goes to them. I was so excited for this character, I almost bought the game. Almost. The fighting game's in the backlog, I swear. Amber was a character I was following the development of up until release, and seeing the character come out after a year's work was really cool to see. But take it from me, if your character only took a year to get done, it could have been worse. And finally, there was Snake. The trailer for him was absolutely amazing. It had a unique style that no other trailer was replicating. And judging by the moveset, he was going to be pretty ambitious. So ambitious in fact that TBA was probably a better thing to put on there. Stage reveals in this presentation were also pretty good as well. A lot of characters that got released also came with a stage, but some stages got their own trailer. These include, but aren't limited to, Pokemon Stadium, the best stage in Tekken 7, Anime Lounge. Oh, this stage looks pretty cool, and you get to listen to anime music, that's pretty good. Brazil Congress? Yeah, you definitely had to love your country to add a Congress building as a stage to Rivals. I know some US citizens who would add a McDonald's before the White House. And this Doom stage. This got Doom music into Rivals of Ether. What else do you need? Okay, well, but characters and stages weren't the only things revealed. We got a trophy buddy, we got some standees, we have the extended Workshop Homecoming tournament, and we got Adventure Mode! We kinda got Adventure Mode. It was kinda just them talking about what the mode was gonna be. AKA, it was kinda them just saying,
Don't forget me!
Which was pretty common for this first Workshop Direct. You get a trailer, they announce the content, they say it's still in development, they show a year, the end. Like Muno, I get it, you wanted to remind people Coda still exists, but this could have been a tweet. But of course, not every announcement is set in stone. To this day, there are still some things revealed in this presentation that are not released yet. Or if they did release, it was either as a buddy or SSL character. Basically the Rivals of Ether way of saying me customer assist trophy. But hey, at least an SSL character is still a character you can play as. If you were about to be a character but got turned into just a buddy, yeah, you got the bad ending. Unless that buddy has something interesting going on, like some voice lines or compatibility. Luminous, 3 of the art block characters, the Copycat Moose, Filippi, and a few of the montage characters are just a few of the examples of characters that either didn't come out, turned into something else, or are still in development. We might live in a timeline where Bonk never gets released. I know, it's scary, deep breaths. But all in all, what a great first showing for Rivals Workshop Direct. Glad they didn't stick with this name. I would give this one a B tier. Alright, there we go. The workshop blueprints. Holy shit, it's 2 hours long?
Oh my god!
That's a really long event. To put that in perspective, Summer Games Fest was 2 hours and that was a variety of games. This is just workshop. Which might sound great for some, but yeah, I have my limits. There's a reason after this event, they pulled a WrestleMania. But in terms of characters, oh man, we were eating good. Chess Piece, Saffron, Loden, Zephyr, Anglora, the old one, not the new one. Crash Bandicoot, the new one, not the old one. Ryu Hayabusa, I'll let you guess which one. Tomo, Candyman, Monarch, Midnick's favorite character. Rokesha, no gameplay but get to see ya. And Captain Toad. That's just a few of them. But who could forget Nate? Which, by the way, I totally forgot Nate came from an upcoming indie game called Power Veil. At the time of this recording, it is still upcoming. But hey, that's indie development for you. But my favorite reveal in this presentation has got to be Akira from Astral Chain. At the time this presentation dropped, I was already a JoJo and Persona fan. So you show me a character that looks like this, and my eyes are locking in. And that freaking music, man!
Just as I was about to give up, something deep inside, giving me a light, choosing it to be unknown, losing my own control. I was sacrificed for us to survive. Every drop of my blood letting go of my sanity from within.
We get another look at Adventure Mode, this time the underground portion, along with a couple other things. We get more standees that look fantastic. The Paper Mario pack, Wily's Castle, and the Killing Grounds are huge highlights in the stage department. But uh-oh, we got a few unreleased characters. Starting off with Annie Mae, who would have been the DJ of, yeah, that place. Check, who is the avatar for What the Check, was going to get a character, but that later turned into a buddy. Indie of Ether's Quote has yet to release, which is a bit of a bummer because that sprite looks really good. And Marth from the Nerve team. But the one that hurts me the most has got to be...
Hi, I'm Daisy.
You're telling me this version of Daisy was going to use her sports attire, and her moveset was going to be based off her athletics? While the amount of content shown off in this was absolutely insane, there is a bit of a drawback.
This unique bundle of items will be releasing today, later today, starting today, coming later today, right now. Later today, we'll be releasing later today, starting tonight, starting today.
Yeah, the release date of some of these characters. Imagine you were watching a Nintendo Direct and 20 games got shown off, 10 of them releasing the same day the Direct dropped. Yeah, sure, you'd be freaking the hell out. Until you realize that all 10 of those games would have to fight for your attention. I blame you, Banjo!
And the release date is... today.
Alright. Let's talk about the elephant in the room. Chris 2. probably one of the biggest unreleased characters in Workshop history. If you were listening earlier, Chris 1 was one of my favorite Workshop characters. How do you think I felt when this dude's trailer dropped? If Akira was one of my favorite characters that released, Chris 2 is one of my favorite characters that hasn't. I still think Chris 2 is going to drop at some point. It might be after this video drops. It might be long after Rivals 2 releases. Hell, it might be at 4 prints. Who knows? We'll have to wait and see. But as for the presentation itself, I gotta give it an A tier. While it was pretty loaded on same day releases, the amount of content that came out was absolutely amazing. Two Prints was really what kicked off a lot of things for the events going forward. For starters, the Blueprint name turned into 2 Prints, which later became 3 Prints, and is going to become 4 Prints. Another thing was the WrestleMania thing I mentioned. The 2 Prints event got split into 2 days, one being Void, the other being Sky, because your trailers were just too dang long. The quality control also got a massive improvement. You better make sure whatever you're sending for one of those days better be some quality stuff. And the final major change, Zetta's gone. Okay, well not really, it was only for Void, but we got a guest announcer for this presentation in the form of Joe Cool. This would be the only time we got a guest announcer for the presentation, so yeah, I imagine this was going to happen more, it just never did. Starting with the name change, I don't hate it, particularly because I don't know what else you could have called the sequel to this. It becoming 2 days, however, was a massive improvement. This allows you to still have a good amount of content without the long run times. Also, take this from a WWE fan, I never want to go back to one night WrestleManias. The announcer change is also still weird, as it was the only one, but since we're on the topic, Zetta's announcing an unofficial and Blueprints was It wasn't terrible, but it just lacked enthusiasm to me. I feel like when you compare it to someone like the Nintendo Direct announcer, even if he's announcing something as stupid as stealing your wife's simulator, he'd at least sound excited about it. Joe Cool had the opposite effect for me. I feel like he had the enthusiasm, he had the announcer voice. But Zetta's announcing does get better later on, so this isn't a big problem. Alright, let's get into the actual presentation, starting with the Stickman people. We got some pretty good picks in this presentation. Rob, Mal, Mario Kart, the character, Daz, a tax offender, Chuckya, yes this was actually part of their trailer, Big Ban, Breath of the Wild Link, a googly-eyed cannon, haha, Phineas and Ferb Interlopers, Deora, Dear Lord Help Us All, Never Mind We're Screwed, and that's just to name a few of them. My favorite announcement though has gotta go to Pit. Pit was one of the characters I said I wanted in the Smash Rivals video, and this was right around the time I just finished Uprising, so yeah, I was popping off. For stages, the highlights for me have to go to Hyrule Castle and Airship Fortress. But alright, let's talk about some unreleased characters, and there aren't many of them. Major ones though are Guy Spelunky, another Indies of Ether character, and DE Goku, which is about to become ironic in a couple of minutes. I'm gonna have to give this one an S, man. This was jam-packed with quality characters, the pacing was much better than the other 2 presentations. This was amazing. On to the second day, it was time for 2 Prints Sky, and we kicked things off with holy crap, it's Mono Goku! What a way to start off the presentation with probably one of my favorite IP characters on the workshop. I do feel kinda bad because you know dang well this probably trumped over the other Goku's announcement. But that one's unreleased, so
It is what it is. It is what it is.
For day 2, the great reveals keep on coming, with characters such as Unregistered Hyper came too. Smash Bros can never, man. Monkeys, Galga, Incineroar, Mom, I want Batman and Rivals, we have Batman and Rivals at home, Friday Night Funkin' Boyfriend, an Arrow, what the fuck, Sarah, who is also an Indies of Ether character. See, they can get characters done. Adam Capybara, with milestone stage included, my gosh. SSL characters, King, and many more. Another small list of unreleased characters. Momoyo, who is another Toho character. And Neku from The World Ends With You, who I'm pretty sure is still in development. I've seen pictures of him going around in the Discord. Join that, by the way, if you want to. We got Monophone Touch, an improvement to the Monophone because the other one kept lagging the game. And our final look at Adventure Mode before the release. Yeah, that's right. This thing appeared 3 times before it came out. But it was well worth the wait. This mode is incredible and probably took a lot of hard work too, so props to the developers. But my favorite reveal for day 2 has to go to Fernet. I've gushed about this character before in the channel, so I'll save your ears from it. But this character is fantastic. The design, the personality, the moveset, it's all incredible. I followed the development for this character on Twitter, and seeing it finally come out was definitely worth the wait. But even though 2 of my favorite characters got revealed in this presentation, I still think Void was better, purely because of the lineup. It was just more hard hitting. But this one is a S tier as well. Here we go. The final Zetta hosted blueprints, the 3 prints. As for why this was Zetta's last one, you could probably come up with a multitude of reasons. I think the main one just had to be Burnout, because there were 2 of these in the same year. That's a lot to handle. So, in 2022, we got our final Zetta blueprints, Chaos and Order. Kicking things off with a great animated trailer for Wally. Yeah, I've talked about him before already, know the story, great character. We also get a lot of great characters, such as, but not limited to, Zero Two. No, not that one, the Kirby villain. That's a Kirby villain? Damn. Rin Toho, Neo. Ayaka, Spamton Neo, Zeke and Pandora, Frostine, and Bandana D, which was followed up by an entire announcement of a whole Kirby presentation for Workshop. I guess that's where the big boys play. The final reveal goes to Snake, who, yeah, is finally releasing. I told you he needed a TBA. But the animated trailer looks amazing, and the moveset looks just as confusing as Metal Gear lore itself. But this is also the presentation where every character revealed got released. Gonna be honest here, guys, this one's only okay. We had a lot of great announcements here. Bandana D, Ayaka, Pepsi Man, but the lineup in past ones was just a bit stronger. For me personally, this one goes in B. Alright, it's time. The final presentation from Zetta, who might I add did really good with the announcing for these last 2 presentations. Though again, it is still weird that we only got 1 guest announcer. Maybe 5 prints we can get Queso or something. For this presentation, we kick things off with Marissa, who breaks the streak. See, every character who started a presentation has been a character I've talked about on the channel. Except for Marissa. But it's a sub character. You can assume I played them. The lineup for this presentation is also really solid. We got characters such as Emi and Samus from Metroid Dread, Naruto Uzumaki, Kairo, Card, more SSL characters, Rococo, Anzin, Sakuya, Valley and Death, Thive, and Ouroboros. The Tetris stage is one of the coolest things I've ever seen. The Neverland Saga tournament got announced here, which I remember being pretty good, and we got more standees. The only thing that was not released at the time of this recording is Workshop Tactics. It's Workshop, but a tactical RPG. The event finally ends with Pete, having it be a continuation from Wally's trailer, which I really love. For my favorite announcements, Chaos has to go to Snake, but for Order, I think this is going to go to Emi and Samus. Don't get me wrong, the Pete reveal was pretty good, having it be a continuation and all. But I think Emi's and Samus's just hit harder for me. It's just a personal thing. Yeah, I do think Chaos has the better lineup here, but Order's still going in B tier with it. And that was it. 2022 didn't get another blueprint, and 2023 never got one at all. Looking back, it was really cool to see not just improvements from the presentation itself, but also the quality of characters, the pacing, everything just kept evolving as time went on. But now the year is 2024, and Soka is now taking the reins for Workshop 4 prints, past and future. Link to where it will be broadcasted in the description. I'll also talk about all the announcements on the second channel, so tune into that if you want. For now though, we can only speculate on what could be there. Will some unreleased characters show up? Who are the new characters that are going to show up? Will SK Harrison have an announcement there? Don't bet on that. We will just have to wait and see. But one thing is for sure. Bonk's gotta get in this game, man. Where's the bonk?